Alrighty, my friend, it's already 10:08. I had a great day at home. I just got another video published, and yet I haven't done my reading routine yet. Now I'm gonna just give myself about 10 minutes to enjoy this book, The Kitchen God's Wife by Amy Tan. I think I was on page 116. No. Let me see. Let me look for. Oh yeah, page 10. Wait. Oh, let me see. I think past 1:8, 1:14, 1. Alright, let me just read from 1:13. My mother's hair was a color you could feel more than see. Very, very black and shiny as water at the very bottom of a deep well. And winding through her bun were two white hairs, like little ripples when tiny stones are thrown into water. And still, these words are not enough to describe it. I remember owning a few more things. What happened that evening? I was already very tired from the day. We ate a very simple meal in our room. Afterward, my mother showed me how to do an embroidery stitch, one she said she invented herself. I copied her very badly, but she did not criticize me, not once. She praised what I had done, and then, as she helped me undress for bed, she gave me another lesson, how to count my fingers and toes. Otherwise, how will you know if you wake up each morning with the same number? She said, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see how educated and clever my mother was? She always found a reason why I should learn. She told me once she had wanted to be a school teacher, just like the missionaries who had taught her. And then she sat at her stool, in front of her dresser, and I watched her take off her clothes, her jewelry. She pulled off her gold bracelet, her jet earrings. She saw me looking at her in the dresser mirror. She turned around and held up the earrings. Someday this will be yours, she said in a somber voice. I nodded. And all this. She patted her jewelry box. I nodded again. When you put them on, people will think your words are worth more. I nodded once more. But you should never think this way. Never, she said. I shook my head right away. She climbed into the bed we shared and smoothed my hair away. As I looked up at her face, she sang me a little song about a naughty mouse who stole lamp oil. Do you remember? I used to sing you that song. That night, before I could hear the ending, I fell asleep. I dreamed about all the things I had seen that day. A fish that cried and sang a song about a little mouse. The blonde-haired girl trying on fancy French shoes. My mother's hair, the way my fingers wove through it only to discover it was not hair at all, but embroidery and jewels. My mother, sitting at her dressing table, combing her hair, crying to her face in the mirror. Double second. Although maybe this last part was not a dream. The next morning, when I awoke, she was not there. I thought she had slipped quietly out of bed and walked to the staircase, the same as we had done the day before. I opened the door and looked out. I saw only the servants carrying away chamber pots. I went back in the room and sat down to wait for her return. And then, ting ting ting, the servant came in with 2 steaming bowls of xindongjiang. You know the one, the salty-tasting soy milk soup we can get at Fountain Court on the weekend. Last time, Cleo ate a big bowl by herself, no spills. Anyway, that morning I had no taste for dongjiang. My mother, where is she? I demanded. The servant did not answer me, only looked around the room, puzzled. She put both bowls down on our table. Now eat fast, don't let it get cold, she scolded, and left the room in a hurry. I let my bowl become cold. I waited, and when I became impatient, I began to cry, just a little. A lump grew in my throat, and I waited for my mother to return so I could release it. Cry and tell her how long I had waited. I decided that when she did return, I would point to my coat bowl. I would demand some English biscuits, at least 3 to make me happy again. I waited some more. I tipped over my bowl and made a big mess. I stood on a chair and brought down the biscuit tin myself, and still she did not come. The servant came back to take our bowls away. She looked at the mess I had made. She looked around the room. "Look what you've done," she scolded, then left quickly. As soon as she closed the door, I opened it. I saw the servant talking to the head servant. They both rushed down the stairs, and I ran over to the staircase to watch them going down. And then I heard loud voices downstairs, more people walking, doors opening and closing. I could see Nai, my grandmother, walking slowly up the stairs with the servant talking fast next to her. Nai was not the kind of grandmother who patted my head and told me I was pretty. She was the big boss of all the ladies of the house, and I was the smallest girl, the one she noticed only when she wanted to criticize. I raced back into the room and sat on my bed, scared. Trouble was coming, I knew this. I cried as soon as they walked in the door. "Where is your mother?" Nana asked again and again. "When did she leave? Did she take anything with her? Did someone come get her?" What could a little girl say? A girl who knew nothing? I shook my head, cried and cried. "She's not gone. She's still here, right here." Suddenly another person burst into the room. I don't remember who, because I had eyes only for what she was holding in her hand. It was my mother's hair, chopped off, now hanging down like a horse tail. I screamed. Of course I screamed. It was the same feeling as seeing her head cut off. How bad! And now my memories of that time are very cloudy. I only remember that everyone was nervous, whispering secrets, and my father was angry. He came into my mother's room. He opened her drawers, the armoire, her jewelry box, all full. He sat down, quiet. He looked at me sternly as if something were my fault. "Where did she go?" he asked, and I was trying to be obedient. I tried to guess for him. I said, "Zhejiang Road." I said maybe Chenghuang Miao. I mentioned the fish stand at Little East Gate. I said she was at the picture theater. I did not leave the room for 3 days. I sat there, waiting for my mother. Nobody told me I had to stay there, but nobody came to get me either. The servant who brought me food said nothing, and I did not ask her any questions. On the 4th day, I went downstairs by myself. As I already told you, my mother used to carry me everywhere, so my legs were never too strong. That day they were very, very weak. But perhaps this was also because I was afraid of what I might see. Let me tell you, it was worse than what I had imagined. I saw funeral banners hang on the door. I knew what this meant without asking, yet I did not want to believe it. So I walked up to the girl who washed our laundry and asked who had died. The girl said, "How can you ask such a question?" I walked up to old aunt who had arrived that day, and she said, "Don't talk about this anymore." Maybe 1 week later, maybe sooner than that, I was sent to live on Chongming Island with my father's younger brother and his 2 wives, old aunt and new aunt. The island was 2 hours from Shanghai by motorboat, up the Huangpu River until you reach its mouth. That's where my father's family came from originally, the island countryside. On a map, maybe it is only a little dot stuck in the water, close to nothing, cut off from everyone. Anyway, by the time I arrived, I was sick to my stomach because of that motorboat ride, because of my grief. I was crying loud, so heartbroken I didn't care that old aunt was threatening to slap my face in 2. I shouted, "I want my mother. I want to be with my mother. Tell her where I am. She'll come to get me." And that's when old aunt told me, "Shh, this is where your mother is buried, on this island." Oh my God. Oh my god. Her mother died. This is crazy. Man, this story really gets me. Like I kind of want to stop reading, but oh man, it's crazy. I'm like fully in the scene. It's so vivid. The image, everything. I feel like I was part of this. But anyway, I'm going to meditate and go to sleep. It's been a great day. I want to sleep well and have another great day tomorrow, Sunday. All right. Thanks for reading with me. 停止录像。